Do you have lace or tulle in your stash and you're wondering what are some creative ways you can incorporate them into your card making? Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. Today I am inspired by this card where the artist is Leslie Miller from Running with Scissors. That'll be linked in the video description, and it's part of a collaboration with Call Me Crafty Al and a bunch of other crafters, and so their videos will also be linked in the video description. You can play along too and be inspired by this card and try some of the techniques I'm going to show you. And again, just all of that is just down there in the video description so that it is super easy for you to follow along and find more inspiration in videos, etc. So I want to show you 5 different ways that you can use lace, tulle, etc. in your card making that are unexpected. When you see a strip of lace, then you might be thinking, oh, I'll just place it on the card as a pretty decoration. And that is what Leslie did here, and it is gorgeous, and that is what inspired me. She has a strip of lace behind all of this detail. But I wanted to challenge myself to think of some other things to do. So the first thing I did was I thought, I bet you can die cut lace just to make it a little bit more interesting. So yeah, you're still just gonna kind of place it on the card as a decoration, but by giving it a shape, you're going to add a little bit more interest. So the best way to do this would be to do it with like steel dies. I don't think that this would cut very well on an electronic die cutting machine, but somebody probably knows better than me. I'm not an expert. But you know, taking any of your simple shape dies, I wouldn't die cut anything too intricate, but I did a simple heart shape, and I think that could add a lot of interest to my background. And I will say, when I ran it through my machine, it didn't cut perfectly, and I did have to use a scissor to help it. And that's why I recommend a like a simple shape, but you can also make sure that you run it through your die cut machine a few times, make sure you have really even pressure, add a shim, that kind of thing, and all of that will help. My next suggestion is kind of like a precursor step, because once you've done this, then you can apply some of the other techniques to it. But because lace, at least most of the lace that I have found recently is made of plastic, essentially polyester, you can dye it with your alcohol inks. So I'm just going to put a little bit of alcohol ink on my felt pad and then stamp it onto my lace. And you could, I'm going to show you another technique that you could kind of combine with this a little bit later. Of course, you can die cut it afterwards. This gives you an opportunity to add some multiple colors to your lace. There are, of course, other ways of dyeing fabric. I mean, lace is just a piece of fabric, but most of us have alcohol inks or something similar. I will say, if you did something like a distress ink, for instance, it's going to come out when it touches water because it's not going to absorb into the plastic. So you want to use something that is permanent on your surface, or you've sealed it in some way. I mean, in theory, nobody's going to be like dumping a glass of water on your card, but it's something that you want to keep in mind. Another fun technique is to ink through the lace, basically as if it were a stencil. There are some things that you need to think about as you do this, because lace is going to move around. So I've taped it down quite a bit, but I'm still doing a tapping, pouncing motion with my brush as opposed to swirling it, because if I swirl it, I'm going to lose a lot of detail. This is not going to be a perfect stencil. If you want the look of stenciled lace, there are stencils out there, I think, that mimic the look of lace, so you can get that look, but I figure there's probably some of us who just have some lace in our stashes because it's just like a fun thing. It's sort of things that's so easy to find at like thrift stores and that kind of thing. And I'm going to keep my tutorial part of this really quick so that you can watch some of the other videos, and I'll show you some completed cards with the ideas at the end. But let's just take a look at what that does if you do that pouncing technique, when you get the look of the lace as a stencil. Another really cute fun thing you can do with lace trims specifically is make these little like flower shapes. And so I'm going to do, I think it's called a running stitch, but basically you go down a little bit, over and then up again, and you just kind of keep weaving your needle through. I'm going to try to do more of a zoomed in approach, but I'm going to go down through the lace, over a little bit and up again, I'll keep kind of moving that down the needle, down, up, down, up. You don't have to, like, you kind of want it to be generally even space, but it's not a big deal if it is not. I am using an embroidery needle here so that it's a little less painful when I poke myself, because I do tend to do that, and you don't need anything particularly, you know, fancy or sharp or whatever to do this. You just kind of need a needle that will go through. I'm using embroidery thread, a single strand of it, because I have that for doing cross stitch and stitching on cards, but a piece of thread will work just as well. And you're going to do that till you get to the end, and then I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. Weaved it all along the length of your trim. Then you want to kind of make it so that all the lace is facing basically on like one side sort of together, just because then you're less likely to get the lace all caught up. So I'm just kind of fussing with it a little bit now. And then I'm going to tie my two ends together. I believe you can do this with a sewing machine as well. It'll put a running stitch into a single piece of fabric, and as long as you don't back stitch and seal it, then you would be able to similarly pull on the ends. My string is definitely longer than it needs to be, but I pre-cut all my embroidery floss for cross stitch, and so that's part of what's going on there. And then when I tie it up, it will form that little flower shape. You can layer these up together. We used to put these in our hair when I was a kid. And sorry, mine's not perfect because I'm trying to be quick, but I will finish it off. But you can, yeah, you're just gonna kind of secure it tightly, and you'll want to do some knots to get that happening. And then here in the center, you could put like a gem, a brad, some kind of embellishment, and put that on your card. It is going to be obviously a bit more three-dimensional. The length that I started with was about 10 inches, but it kind of depends on the width of your trim as well, and how full or sparse you want your flower to look. This next idea never turned out quite as successful as I hoped it would be. It's something that I thought would work really well in my mind, but I wanted to try to stamp with lace. So I'm applying some Distress ink to my lace. As you can see, I've kind of built up a layer of it during the experimentation process. I think it helps if your pad is nice and juicy, so you're going to get down as much ink as possible. And then I like to use a water reactive ink, because that is where I've gotten the best results, is by making the cardstock or making the lace wet so that the ink is like juicier than it ordinarily would be. And I'm just going to give it a mist. I think you really want something that has a fine mist. You don't want like big droplets coming down. And then as you bring it over to your cardstock, you want to lay it down one time and not let it shift too much, because that will ruin the clarity of the image. I think a brayer would be great here. I think there's probably also somebody who has figured this out and been a bit more successful than me, but when I do these kind of videos where I'm like, I have an idea for 5 ways to use lace, I don't want to go look at a bunch of other people's ideas and steal their content. I just want to share what I thought of. So for example, I know people use lace on the front of shaker cards. I've seen that idea, I've seen that video. I'm pretty sure it was Jennifer McGuire, and I will link it, but I didn't want to just kind of take someone else's idea. So as you can see, the results are like a little bit mixed for sure. I'm gonna bring it closer to the camera. You can see that there is some detail there. You really have to be willing to get a hit or miss on this, and different lace is gonna produce different results. Pop back in with this one again real quick. I got a much better result, and that's why I just want to show you that it does take a little bit of practice with the technique. I really made sure to mist very well that time, and over time, since I've been using the same piece of lace, it's, you know, built up a layer of ink. So if your first couple of stampings with lace do not turn out the way you expect, try again if you think the look is worth pursuing, because I've gotten better at it over time. So I'm gonna show you the 2 cards I made with all the different techniques that we went over today for some unexpected ways to use lace. You can stamp with it with a watercolor sort of effect. You can make these little flowers. You can dye it with alcohol ink and then die cut it, or just die cut it. And then here is a stenciling, so we also stenciled through it, and then I die cut that heart as well. I did want to show you briefly how I was attaching these. So once I had die cut the lace, I tried to put most of my adhesive so that it was under the hugs or the other heart, because you could, if you had something sticky behind the lace, you would be able to feel the stickiness through it. But I also am able to hide some glue dots under the more dense part of the lace without it being problematic. So I could take a little mini glue dot and place it there. I wouldn't really recommend liquid glue because I think it would react with this, especially if you dyed your lace, but you can be able to hide a little bit of extra adhesive. And then in terms of cutting your lace, I did find it was important to have a really sharp scissor. So I have my Tim Holtz scissor, and that has been serving me well in terms of cutting the lace. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links. I also have all the links to the challenge, other people participating in the challenge, and how you can follow along with the beautiful inspiration we had this month for the Oh So Inspired Challenge. See you in the next video!